Hey everyone, welcome to day 3 of the 6-day Back on Track series. Today I'm bringing to you a gentle balance flow that will bring all focus to the present moment and onto your mat. So grab a chair or stay close to a wall for support. The aim of this practice isn't perfection, but to tame the body and wavering mind to be more present, which can also be tested with support. So starting in a seated position, let's begin to draw either half Cs or full circles with the neck, alternating between each side, inhaling as the head drops back and exhaling as the head drops forward. And now come into the center and begin to rotate the shoulders backwards on every exhale. And rotate forward. Now drop the glutes back into child's pose, staying here for a breath. And then walk the hands to the right. Buttock stays grounded towards the feet. Now gently walk the hands to the left. Come back into the center and come into a tabletop position, moving through a few cat and cow stretches. Wrists in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. Inhale, arch the back, gaze up. Exhale, hunch the back, chin tucks, gaze to the belly button. Let's continue 4 more rounds with that breathing pattern on our own. All right, coming back into Vajrasana in a seated position and staying in this stretch while rotating the wrists in one direction. Now let's switch the direction. Plant the palms on the mat and lift off, coming into downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet here on every exhale. Next up, preparing to switch between high plank, inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Continue these movements on your own, keeping that breathing pattern in mind. Let's end in a downward dog position. Now as you inhale, kick the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward for a high lunge. Fingertips facing the ceiling, gaze at one point. Core completely engaged. Alright, join the palms near heart center and begin to lift the right leg off the mat, placing the body into a T-shaped position for a warrior 3 stance. Gaze at one point in front of the mat for balance. Now bring the right leg forward, wrapping it around the left on top and wrapping the right arm on top of the left. Begin to push the glutes towards the mat on an exhale, coming into eagle pose. Release and come into a goddess squat in the center of the mat. Stay low and begin to raise one leg at a time, coming onto the toes. Keep the hands on the waist or on a chair for support if you find yourself falling off. Perfect. Turn towards the back end of your mat and repeating everything on the right leg now, starting with the high lunge, fingertips facing the ceiling. Hold here for a breath or two. Staying high on the back toes and strong on the legs. Now join the palms near heart center, beginning to come into a warrior 3 stance. Body into a T-shaped position. Back to flexed, gaze at one point forward. Now this time bring the left leg forward, wrapping it on top of the right and wrapping the left arm on top of the right. Begin to push the glutes towards the mat, eagle pose. Keep breathing through all the postures. Whenever you catch yourself holding your breath, correct it and continue breathing. Perfect. Release and come into a goddess squat in the center of the mat. And this time, once you're comfortable in this position, come high on both feet, on both toes, on an exhale and inhale back down. Come up high, exhale, inhale back down. Continue on your own, keeping that breathing pattern in mind. Remember, feel free to use any kind of support you might need. Alright, straighten the knees, preparing to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So both toes are pointing, facing forward in line with your body. Hands on the floor, you can choose to do a half fold or fold forward completely. Perfect. Gently pick yourself up and turn to the front end of your mat. Now take the right leg, placing it on your left inner thigh for a tree pose. Hands can stay near heart center. Now release the leg and lift it forward, hands up to the sky this time. Now gently from here, move the right leg into a warrior 3 stance. Plant the right palm or fingertips or place it on a block a little ahead of the left foot. Come into a revolved half moon position. Left arm goes up to the sky. Feel free to use blocks like I said earlier. Gaze at one point, either at the hand on top or towards anything that helps you stay stable. Awesome. Release and bring that right leg and ankle onto the left knee, coming into a single chair squat. Hands near heart center. Alright, stand up and let's transition into a goddess squat. Turn to the back end of our mats and repeat everything on the left now. Starting with our tree pose, take the left leg, placing it on your right inner thigh, hands stay near heart center. Now release the left leg and lift it forward, hands up to the sky this time. Next, gently move the left leg into a warrior 3 stance. Plant the left palm or fingertips on a block or on the floor, a little ahead of the right foot, coming into a revolved half moon position. Right arm goes up to the sky. Gaze remains stable. If you find yourself falling off, that is absolutely fine. Awesome. Release. Now bring that left leg and ankle onto the right knee, coming into a single chair squat. Hands near heart center. Perfect. Gently stand up, release, and prepare to come into a wide-legged forward fold. This time, interlocking the fingers and either choosing a half fold or a full forward fold, whichever is accessible today to you and whichever is already in your practice. Interlocking the fingers and folding forward completely can be a little challenging. So please see that you've got cushioning forward in case you feel like you're falling, or use some support. You can also do this against a wall. Perfect. Now gently plant the palms, turn to the front end of the mat. Take the left leg back for a high plank. Exhale, drop the knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, child's pose. Staying here for a breath. Alright, walk the palms back towards the body, sitting up in Vajrasana and then Dandasana, staff pose. Now lie down completely on the back. We're going to be slowing things down now. Grab both inner arches of the feet, elbows inside the knees, preparing to come into a happy baby pose. You can choose to stay static here or rock from side to side. Now release, plant the palms on the mat, knees bent, and on an exhale, lift the glutes off the mat for a bridge pose. Release back down, grab both knees into the chest and hold. Now gently release the knees onto the left side, torso twist to the right, right hand lengthened out. Now let's repeat this spinal twist onto the other side. And then come back into the center for an overall body stretch, interlocking the fingers above you, pointing the toes, and imagining somebody's pulling your legs and arms in the opposite direction. Keep pulling your belly towards the spine, keep stretching the entire body. This is a feel-good stretch and one of my favorites. And now let's jump right into our final resting position, Shavasana. Drop the feet, palms facing the sky, body resting heavy on the mat, and awareness guided to the breath. Breathe slow and deep. Exhalations kept a little longer than the inhalations. Feel free to stay here for as long as you like. I hope you enjoyed moving with me today. I will see you soon. Namaste.